in the defendant's interviews.
Correct.
So realistically, I don't know that it's not worth arguing over and parsing about.
All right. So that'll be the rulings on the issues, and we'll bring the jury back in and we'll resume our work.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. They're here, bring them on. All right, everybody have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any issues that need to come to my attention? Very good. Ms. Howard, I believe we were in the middle of your direct, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just so the record is clear, that last objection was sustained to the extent discussed in sidebar, and Ms. Howard, you may proceed according to the remainder of that conversation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Lindsay, let me bring you back where we were. We were talking about being at Children's Hospital. What time did you say you arrived?
About 3:30.
And this is on March 8th of 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
And you arrived there with TJ, correct?
I did.
And who do you go and talk to, or who do you talk to while you're there?
Jason was in the downstairs lobby when you first entered Children's Hospital, so I immediately went to him.
Okay. And you said you were there till almost 8 o'clock? I'm sorry, almost 9 o'clock?
Somewhere around there between 8 and 9. I'd have to look at my text message telling my mom what time we went home, but
Okay. And did you only talk to Jason while you were at Children's Hospital?
no.
Who else did you talk to?
Caitlin, Rachel, and their mom. It was the first time meeting her, and then that mom's mom, so grandma.
Okay. And did Jason tell you what he believed the medical condition Hannah was suffering from was?
He did.
And what was that?
An aneurysm.
Okay. And did he say anything else about her medical condition to you?
Objection.
Approach.
Yes, Your Honor. So the question I'm asking first is a yes or no,
Okay.
without explanation, correct? Did Jason tell you how Hannah was doing?
Yes.
And based upon your conversation with him, did you form a belief as to how well or bad or what was going on with Hannah?
Yes.
And what was that belief?
She was going to be okay.
When you were at Children's Hospital, did you have a conversation with Jason about your interview with the police?
I did.
Did you tell him that they told you Hannah was dead?
Yes.
Did you tell him that the police told you it was you or him?
Yes.
And did you tell him about the questions about TJ?
I did.
And what did he say about TJ to you?
That he was asked the same questions.
As to TJ as a suspect?
Yes.
Did you guys just sit and chit chat for these 3 to 4 hours?
For the most part.
Okay.
I had brought her blanket down, so I gave it to him so he could take it upstairs to her.
Okay. And did you guys pray?
Yes, we did.
After speaking with Jason, did you form a belief as to his view of corporal punishment?
Yes.
And what was your belief?
That disciplining her was okay.
Did you have a conversation with him at all about bruising?
Yes.
Okay. And did you tell him that you had been asked about bruising?
I did.
And did you, after talking with him, did you form a belief as to his, did you form a belief as to the bruising?
Yes.
And what was that?
It was from falling in the gravel and from the train.
Did you tell him it was you or him?
Yes,
That's what the police told
that's
you.
what the police told me.
When you finished your visit at Children's Hospital, did you think it was you or him?
Yes and no. I don't know that it completely registered with me.
Okay.
I was more worried about her.
Okay.
I mean, but yes, I knew that that was said to me.
Okay. Was it you?
It was not.
Then who was it?
Objection.
Please.
Speculation.
No sustained.
It's speculation as to who it was if it's not you, correct?
Yes.
Objection leading.
Strike it, we'll move on.
During the March 8th and until your second interview on March 9th, are you having telephone calls with Jason?
Yes.
Are you having text messages with Jason?
Yes,
Are you communicating with his daughter Caitlin?
I am.
Text message,
Yes.
telephone calls?
Yes.
Showing you again what's, excuse me, marked as Exhibit BB as in boy. Previously identified and admitted. Directing your attention to line 7. Can you
Yes.
identify what's on line 7?
A phone call to Jason Weshy on March 9th at 8:45 and 41 seconds a.m.
And how long is that conversation?
3 minutes and 54 seconds.
And outgoing meaning it's outgoing from your phone?
Yes.
And line 8?
Outgoing from me to Caitlin on 3/9 at 8:43, 41 seconds a.m.
And how long is that call?
33 seconds.
Do you remember if you spoke with Caitlin or someone on the end of that line?
I did.
Okay. And I apologize, in regards to line 7, the 3-minute 54-second, did you speak with someone on the line?
I spoke with Jason.
Okay. On the number 8, did you speak with Caitlin?
I did.
Okay. Number 10, what call is that?
His phone was, it's to Jason at 3/9 at 7:21 and 41 seconds a.m.
Did you speak with him at that time?
No, his phone was turned off.
Okay. And line 11,
To Jason at 7:02 and 27 seconds a.m. on 3/9.
and did you speak to him then?
I did not.
That shows a duration of what?
0 seconds.
On to the next page. Page 95 of BB. Do you see line 12?
I do.
And what is that?
A phone call from me to Caitlin on 3/9 at 3:38:07 a.m.
And what's the duration of that?
36 seconds.
Did you speak to her?
I did.
Line 15?
Outgoing to Caitlin on 3/8 at 6:36 and 49 seconds p.m.
And what's the duration?
0 seconds.
Did you speak to her?
No.
Why were you calling her at 6:36 and 49 if you were at the hospital?
I think I was trying to find her.
You see line 21?
Yes.
And what is that?
Outgoing to Caitlin on 3/8 at 2:57 and 32 seconds p.m.
Okay. And what's the duration?
8 seconds.
Did you speak to her?
Yes, I was letting her know we were coming to Children's Hospital.
That you were what?
That we were on our way to Children's Hospital.
Okay. Line 22,
Yes.
what is that?
A phone call to Jason
At what time and what date?
on 3/8 at 2 p.m. 57 minutes and 8 seconds.
And did you speak to him?
I think so.
Okay. Line 25, can you see that? I'm sorry. Let me move it
A
up.
little bit. Caitlin, I was calling Caitlin on 3/8 at 2 p.m. 37 minutes and 10 seconds.
And did you speak to her?
Yes.
The next line, 26,
To Jason on
what time and date?
3/8 at 2 p.m. 36 minutes and 47 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
I did not.
Line 27,
To Jason on 3/8 at 2 p.m. 36 seconds and, or 36 minutes and 43 seconds.
and did you speak to him?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Line 28,
To Caitlin on 3/8 at 2 p.m. 36 minutes and 31 seconds.
did you speak to her?
Yes, I believe I was trying to see if they were there at Children's because we were gonna come down. We were coming down.
Okay. And line 29,
To Jason on March 8th, 2 p.m. 34 minutes and 41 seconds.
did you speak to him?
I don't know.
Line 30,
To Jason on March 8th at 2 p.m. 34 minutes and 33 seconds.
and duration?
3 seconds?
Do you think you talked to him?
I'm not quite sure. I know I was trying to call them to see if they were still at Children's so that I could come down. And I wanted to make sure that they were there.
Okay. On to the next page of Exhibit DB, which is page 96. Top of the page, line 31, do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
A phone call to Jason on March 8th, 2 p.m., 34 minutes and 27 seconds.
Okay. And line 41, about the middle of the page, do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is that?
A phone call to Jason.
I'm sorry, what?
A phone call to Jason.
Are you sure it's to Jason?
Oh, from Jason. Sorry, I'm used to saying that. From Jason.
And what time was that call?
11 a.m., 28 minutes and 53 seconds.
And did you answer that call?
No, I believe I was in my police interview.
Line 43,
From Jason to me,
what time?
March 8th, 11 a.m., 21 minutes and 10 seconds.
And did you receive that call?
No.
It shows missed in your phone, is that correct?
Yes.
Directing you to line 47, do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what is that?
Outgoing from me to Jason on March 8th, 11 a.m., 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
Okay. And the duration?
7 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
I'm not positive.
Line 48, do you recognize that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
Phone call to Jason on March 8th, 11 a.m., 1 minute and 12 seconds.
And what's the duration?
2 seconds.
Do you know if you spoke to him?
I don't remember.
Page 97 of BB. Line 49, do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what is that?
Me calling Caitlin,
What time and date?
March 8th, 11 a.m. and 8 seconds.
And did you speak to her?
I did, quickly.
Line 50?
Or maybe we approach on this.
Yeah, sure.
Left off on? Yes,
Do you see that?
I do.
What is it?
A phone call to Jason on March 8th, 10 a.m., 58 minutes and 36 seconds.
Duration?
3 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
I don't know.
Okay. Line 54? What is that?
A phone call to Jason
What time?
on March 8th, 9 a.m., 53 minutes and 36 seconds.
And duration?
1 minute and 49 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
Yes, I believe I was telling him that I was on my way back to the house with the detectives.
Line, 58? Do you see that?
Yes.
What is it?
A phone call to Caitlin,
What time and date?
March 8th, 9 a.m., 23 minutes and 46 seconds.
And duration?
1 minute and 46 seconds.
Did you speak to her?
I did.
Line 61?
From Caitlin to me on March 8th, 9 a.m., 17 minutes and 56 seconds.
What was the duration?
22 seconds.
Do you remember speaking to her?
I do. I don't know what we were talking about.
Okay. Line 65?
A phone call from me to Jason on March 8th, 8 a.m., 8 minutes and 47 seconds.
Duration?
There was 0 seconds.
Okay. Line 66?
To Jason from me at March 8th, 8 a.m., 7 minutes and 46 seconds.
Duration?
19 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
I did.
Line 67?
From me to Jason, March 8th, 7 a.m., 59 minutes and 56 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
Yes.
And where were you when you made that call?
Driving to Fort Hamilton. I was trying to figure out where to go, where he was in the hospital.
And I apologize. Did you speak to him on that call?
I did.
Next page, page 98. Line 68. Do you see that?
Yes.
What is it?
A missed call from Jason.
At what time?
March 8th, 7 a.m., 59 minutes and 47 seconds.
Duration?
0 seconds.
You didn't get that call?
No.
Line 69.
Outgoing from me to Jason on March 8th, 7 a.m., 42 minutes and 28 seconds.
Duration?
31 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
I did.
Line 70.
Outgoing to Jason from me on March 8th, 7 a.m., 32 minutes and 15 seconds.
Duration?
37 seconds.
Did you speak to him?
I did.
And then line 71 you identified previously as the 911 call.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to hand you this document that we've already identified as BB. And from the 911 call and the 3 calls you identified from you calling him calling you back, and then the 911 call, which is from line 73 on. I would like you to look at this page, beginning on line 74, all the way to the end of this call pages on line 213, and tell me how many times you had called Jason Wesche prior to that morning or received a call in the days that are inclusive on those pages.
Am I supposed to start at the front or just?
No, start from your series of 3 calls that were that morning. So
Okay.
from line 74 downward
Like to the back.
to the back.
Okay.
Do you see any telephone calls between you and Jason Weshy before that morning call at 7 o'clock, 47 seconds?
No, ma'am.
And in terms of the pages in front of you to BB, what's the line 213, what's the date of that?
February 26, 2018.
In that same review, did you see any calls between you and Caitlin during that same period of time?
I don't think so.
Did you repeat to anyone that statement about an aneurysm that Jason had told you?
Yes,
And did you do that in text messages?
I did.
Having shown the state exhibit FF, I'll approach you with FF as in Frank. Do you recognize page 2114 from your extraction?
Yes,
And is this a page of messages with just a singular person?
yes,
You and a singular person?
yes.
And who was that person?
Stephanie Maynard Furia.
I'm sorry?
Stephanie Maynard Furia. She's married now, but Stephanie Maynard under my phone.
Okay. And does that appear to be her phone number on that document?
It's her phone number.
And were you text messaging with her on a particular date on this page?
Yes.
And what date was that?
3/8 and 3/9.
Okay. And I'm going to direct your attention to the fourth line, or the fourth set of conversation.
Okay.
And can you read the date and time of that text?
March 9th, 2018, 9 a.m., 5 minutes and 52 seconds.
And is it a text that you sent or that you received?
I sent her.
It's listed as outgoing, is that correct?
Outgoing.
And what did you tell her?
Pretty sure she has an aneurysm.
Other than Jason Weshy, had anybody else told you that?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
You hadn't talked to any doctors, right?
No, no doctors.
Okay. I move to admit FF.
State.
No objections or
All right, FF will be admitted to be published.
I love the speed of this machine, by the way. Miss Wilson, I beg your assistance.
It's temperamental.
It is sentimental. It must be a woman.
Yeah, if you do it too much,
I was
it
pressing
catches
hard.
Yeah, it gets over.
All right, you go faster.
It's not that funny, Judge. It takes time to catch up to your processing, if that makes any sense.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And do you see that on your screen, Lindsay?
I do.
And it appears to be the fourth box on that particular page.
Yes.
And that's a true and accurate statement contained within your text messages?
Yes.
Why didn't you throw Jason to the wolves, to the detectives on March 8th?
Because I care about him. He was my friend. Cared about his daughters, all three of them. We'd become friends over the year that I had Hannah.
Why didn't you throw him to the detectives as the person who did it on March 9th?
Wanted to protect everybody. I didn't want anybody to be in trouble.
Why would you want to protect someone who did this to a child?
I always think the best of people. I just didn't.
They showed you the photographs of Hannah in the hospital, right?
Yeah, on my second interview, yes.
Yeah. On March 9th, they showed you these photos. And you wanted to protect the person who did this?
I didn't want anybody to be in trouble. I wanted to protect everybody.
Did you lie to the police?
I told them what they wanted to hear.
What do you mean you told them that what they wanted to hear?
All of their questions, like leading into it's an accident, did she fall, all of those things. I just agreed with them because the day before, for hours, I told them what happened. And even an hour into that second interview, I told them what happened. They didn't want to hear it. They actually told me they didn't want to hear it.
Wouldn't you want them to help find who did that to Hannah?
Yeah.
How did telling them that you didn't do it help find who did?
They told me it was one of two people.
Had you ever heard that Chris had stayed the night until you heard that in testimony here?
No, ma'am.
What's the truth?
Objection.
Clarify the question, please.
What's the truth as to what happened to Hannah Wesche in the time frame you had her on March 8th?
What I said in my first interview. We walked in the house and she collapsed. He was gone for 30 seconds at the most.
What's the truth about what happened to Hannah Wesche about the bruise on her chin?
She fell in the rocks with me, or the gravel driveway.
When she fell in the gravel, what day was that?
March 6th, Tuesday?
And you guys were outside, is that correct?
Yes, we were.
I'm going to put up on the screen 87. Sorry. I'm discombobulated. Does 87, as it's on here, does it indicate to you the location that you believe this happened in the gravel?
Yes?
And put an X where Hannah was. Okay. Was she up on the gravel or was she in the grass?
She had just gotten to the gravel.
Okay. And where were you when this happened?
Walking behind them, somewhere back there.
Okay.
I had Savannah with me, the little one.
And where was Viv?
Up ahead of Hannah running.
Okay. And did you have KK that day?
I did.
And where was KK?
About the same spot Vivian was. I honestly can't. They were all together.
Did you see Hannah fall?
Yes.
And what did you do?
Kind of hurried up to where they were. She'd already stood up. She whimpered a little bit, but she wasn't crying. I checked her cheek, her chin, and we went on about our walk.
Did you notice anything at that time?
She had like a scrape.
Okay. And did you guys go right back inside?
No, we went on our walk around the pond.
Okay. And the pond, where's the pond at?
Right here.
Do you remember how long you stayed out?
Half an hour, 45 minutes.
Do you remember conversing with Christina Lewis about that day?
I do.
About things you had done that day?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm going to show you what's marked as Defendant's Exhibit HH, Harry, page 2559. You recognize that particular document as who that conversation by text is with?
Yes, Christina Lewis.
And Christina Lewis is who?
Kaylin's mom, KK.
And do you see the date on the top of that page?
I do. March 6, 2018.
Okay. And I'm going to focus you on the first three, well, asked to publish.
No objection.
I don't know if it's already been admitted, but if,
It's part of the extraction.
I'll admit it as the HH and you may publish them.
Thank you. I know better. Okay. Do you see the first three conversations there?
Yes.
And this is with Christina Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you tell her?
And which line?
The second section.
Great. They've been playing school and carry around their backpacks all day, or their backpacks laugh out loud, and we went outside for a while earlier.
And the third box there,
Going back out after naps.
after naps.
Yeah.
And these are two outgoing messages of yours?
Yes.
And those two messages you sent to Christina Lewis on what day?
March 6th, 2018.
At what times?
2 p.m., 33 minutes and 24 seconds, and 2 p.m., 33 minutes and 35 seconds.
And did you go outside twice that day?
We did.
What was the weather like that day?
It was like a warm pre-spring day.
Okay. Were the girls clothed in coats?
They had jackets on.
Okay. And was there any snow on the ground?
There was not.
Okay. What did you guys do? I apologize. What time did you first go out?
About 11 a.m. before lunch.
Okay. And can you identify which of those two times she'd fallen in the gravel?
That time.
The morning time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you only saw a scratch on her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you still went out later?
Yeah.
Any girls have any falls during the second trip outside?
No, I parked my van at the end of the driveway and let them do their ride-around toys on the concrete pad in the front.
Okay. No problems? Nobody scraped their knees or anything like that?
No.
Okay. When she left that day, did you notice any bruising?
No.
When she arrived the next day, and when I say she, I mean Hannah.
I know.
When Hannah arrived the next day, did you see any bruising?
That morning, yes.
Okay. And what did you see?
I still saw the abrasion scratch. And then she had bruises on her chin, and then I could just see some above her shirt line.
Okay. And you're pointing to your chest. What do you mean by shirt line?
She had like one of those kid shirts, like
A what?
like a kid shirt from Walmart, like crew neck, I think is what the style is called.
Okay.
But up here.
And when did you notice that?
Going potty, I try to get them to go potty before we have breakfast.
Okay.
So like first potty of the day.
And how would you describe what you saw on her chin area?
Bruises right here.
And you're pointing to both sides of your face?
Mm-hmm.
And any other markings?
Just the top right here.
At the top of her crew neck shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Could you see anything on her neck?
I didn't notice anything on her neck.
Okay. And did you lift her shirt up?
No,
When she went potty on that day, did you check her butt cheeks?
I did not.
Did you ask anybody about those bruises
Jason later on when he showed up, when he picked her up.
that day?
Mm-hmm.
So this day is what day?
Wednesday, March 7th.
March 7th. And you ask him about it when he picks up at the end of the day?
Yes.
And what did he say?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you ask, other than Jason, did you ask anybody else about those bruises?
No.
Okay. Based upon your conversation, did you form a belief as to those bruises?
That they were from falling in the driveway.
Did you look at any other part of her body?
No.
What did she come dressed in that day?
Jeans, shirt.
Did she have a coat?
I don't quite remember. Oh, Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had her coat on. It was cold. Again.
You were shown the photograph of the bruising on the chest of, I'll call it the torso of Hannah, correct?
Yes.
And do you remember that photograph?
Yes.
And in terms of that photograph, I'll start with 41. Did you cause those bruises on her chest?
No, I didn't.
Did you see those bruises on her chest?
Just the top part of that.
Okay. And when you say the top part of that, what do you mean?
The group of them, just the top part of it, not all of it.
And you're kind of pointing to where I'd call your collarbone
Yeah.
area? And your belief on those is based upon things you heard?
Yes.
Had you given her a bath on Tuesday the 5th?
Monday the 5th?
I'm sorry, Monday the 5th?
No.
Had you given her a bath on Tuesday the 6th?
No.
Did you give Hannah a bath on Wednesday the 7th?
No.
Showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 44. Describe what bruises you saw on her on the 7th.
Just a little part on this side and then the abrasion.
Okay.
And then
I'm going
just
to publish that, so
a little
I'll have you
bit.
point to it.
It wasn't like that.
What did you see
Wednesday morning?
Wednesday morning?
The abrasion, a little bit of this, and right about there. No, it wasn't that extensive.
Okay. And as the day went on, did it get more extensive? Did you notice?
I felt like, bruises develop over time. I felt like it was getting a little bit worse
Okay.
looking.
And did you do anything about them?
Yeah, I put my essential oils on them, and then when I did my Google search, it said vapor rub helps.
Okay.
And I assumed it probably because it cools it down, but I don't remember the exact science, what I read, but I put a little vapor rub on her.
Okay.
And my oils.
And did you tell Jason that
I
day?
did.
How did you describe it to him?
What I did?
Yes.
I said her bruises looked bad, assuming from the fall, and I Googled which one of my oils to use, and I put it on there, and then I said, it said Vapor Rub works too. Sorry, she smells like Vapor Rub.
I'm going to show you what's marked as Defendant's Exhibit DD, which was already, I believe, admitted also.
That's what you said, DD.
DD, dog,
Did
dog,
you say that?
I believe so. Do you recognize DD?
I do.
And how many, give me the page number that DD begins on.
4,585,
And what page does DD end on?
4,607.
And those pages are sequentially numbered, is that correct?
Yes.
And what does all of those pages include?
Google app searches.
Okay. 702 searches?
Yes.
Okay. And you were present when Detective Venturi was talking about just this first page?
Yes.
Okay. And so let's talk about that. I'm going to put that up on the screen for you. The days of Elmo were so much better. Miss Wilson, can you assist me?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
What's going on here? It's not focused. I tried the focus of minus. You have a much nicer touch than me.
Just a little.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Do you see line 1 of the searched items and line 5 of the search items?
I do.
Let's start with 5. What time is that search listed as?
March 7th at 8 a.m., 48 minutes and 17 seconds.
Okay, and what is the search?
How to get rid of a bruise.
And do you see the column that says deleted?
I do.
Do you remember deleting that?
I don't.
Line 1, what is that search?
How to get rid of a bruise.
What time and date?
March 8th at 9 p.m., 13 minutes and 49 seconds.
Okay. And do you know when you deleted that?
I don't.
Okay. Let's talk about line 3. What is that?
Is Vapor Rub good for bruises?
Or what time was that search performed?
March 7th, 2 p.m., 56 minutes and 51 seconds.
That search wasn't deleted?
No.
Line 4? What is that?
Sorry. What essential oils is good for bruises?
And what time was that?
March 7th, 2 p.m., 56 minutes and 30 seconds.
Was that search deleted?
No.
You've looked through the entirety of DD
I have.
and you recognize the over 100 other deletions?
Yeah.
Do you have an independent memory of when you deleted any of the other lines?
No.
Like when you deleted line 438, 10 passenger vans for sale.
No.
361, Houston Woods Cabins.
No.
252, USPS tracking.
No.
After 2:56 p.m., well, at 2:56 p.m., what were you doing?
Sitting on the couch.
Why were you sitting on the couch?
All the girls were napping?
And is that a normal thing for the girls to do in the afternoon?
Yes.
And what approximate time do the kids nap?
Between 2 and 4, sometimes 1:30, 3:30.
Okay. And after the girls got up from their nap on the 7th, what happened?
We went out into the garage to play on their ride-around toys.
On their what toys?
Their ride-on toys.
The ones that we've seen in the various photographs?
Yes.
Okay. And what else happened?
I was getting snack together at the coffee table in the back room.
Is the back room also called the deer room?
Yes,
Your husband's a hunter,
he is.
and you were getting snack together,
Yes.
and the girls were outside. What else was going on?
I was getting ready to, I went out there and turned the TV on so their cartoons were playing. They were playing in the garage.
Okay. And did you see something happen?
Vivian jumped up on the train first,
Okay.
and I said, Vivian, get down, you're gonna get hurt, you can't be standing on it. And then Hannah did it right after her.
Okay. And then what happened?
As I was telling Hannah to get down, for some reason I feel like she went to jump off of it, and that may be why it went out from underneath her, kind of like pushed it. But she fell and hit the floor.
Okay. What did you do?
Went to her immediately.
And what happened from there?
I made everybody come back inside,
Like into the main house?
back into the main house.
Okay.
I hadn't quite taken snack out, so we were just gonna do snack inside. I wanted to make sure she was okay. I got a blue soft ice pack out of the freezer, wrapped it in a washcloth so it wasn't too cold on her face. She sat on the couch and ate snack with me.
Did you check her out?
Yeah,
Could she walk and talk?
yes,
Okay. Did you call 911?
I didn't.
Did you continue to eat snack?
We did?
Did you have any problems with eating the snack?
No?
What happened the rest of the day?
I made a skyline chili bake for dinner.
Okay.
And as Jason picked her up at 7, she was eating dinner with my 2 girls.
And tell me about the pickup.
He walked in and had told me about the trailer incident. Can't remember which day was the altercation on the job site or the trailer, but one of the two. We talked about that for a minute. I told him that she had fallen in the garage and that I put ice on it. And I did check her pupils with a flashlight like my mom had done with my brother who plays soccer our whole lives. That's what my mom did. I told him that he might want to get her checked out. She might have a concussion. From my mom examination, she seemed okay, but that was my suggestion.
Okay. And I'm making an assumption that he and Hannah left.
They did.
And did you watch that occur?
I did.
And what can you tell us about that?
Well, he asked if she had gone potty because they were going somewhere. And I said yes, she's gone to the potty. So he went out and put her in her car seat and pulled out.
Just pulled out of your particular driveway?
No, pulled out of our private lane and up Shank Road.
Okay. So you saw the car go?
Yes.
And in terms of pickup for Jason, would it be normal for him to go somewhere after pickup?
Sometimes. I mean, he wasn't home a lot.
Okay.
If I didn't send home leftovers or something, I'm assuming they probably went out and got something to eat.
Okay. And that particular evening, did you have an occasion to look out at 4004 Shank Road?
Yes.
And do you recall seeing Jason's car?
No, it was not home.
What type of car was he driving at the time?
It's a maroon Camry.
Okay. And we've seen photographs of his driveway, is that correct?
Yes.
And in terms of that, how would he normally park his car into the driveway?
Front end first.
And in terms of that, there's another car in the driveway in the photographs, is that correct?
I think he was working on it for one of his friends.
When Hannah left on the 7th of March, did you notice any bruising in regards to what you believed was from the fall on the concrete?
Just the little mark under her eye.
Okay,
Under her eye.
I'm sorry?
Was doing the left because I keep using my right hand because it's my dominant hand.
Okay. And in terms of that, you talked to him about that?
I did.
And had you told him that you had put anything on?
Yeah, I told him I used my essential oils and vapor rub, and that's when I said, sorry, she smells like vapor rub.
Okay. And how would you describe the bruising you saw on the chin when she leaves the evening of the 7th?
I'm not sure.
I'm looking at 44, and I'm looking at the bruising on this face. Is that what you saw on,
No.
how would you describe, in comparison to photograph 44, the bruising you saw on the chin the evening of the 7th?
It wasn't so red all over. It just like a tiny bruise on the one side and then closer to this chin, the actual chin area, just the two kind of more dominant bruises right there.
And so would you say that the photograph 44 shows more bruising than you saw?
Yes.
How long did you look at Hannah on the morning of the 8th before calling Jason?
Not even 10 seconds. I wasn't examining her.
Did you pay attention to bruising?
Not so much. I mean, when Jason and I chit-chatted and we talked about the snow, and then I did say, the vapor rub looks like it worked.
Okay.
And
And
he
how
was like,
long
yeah,
had you
that's
looked
crazy.
at her?
A second. I mean, it was just like and then I was back to talking to him.
Okay. Is this while he's got her on his leg?
Yes.
Okay. And so have you seen a full frontal of her yet?
No, not yet.
When she's lying on the floor in the, you called it the dining room? What's that room called?
I call it the dead animal room.
Okay.
It's the trophy room, deer
Probably
room.
not
We do have a
appropriate.
dining room
Let's
table
call
back
it the
there.
trophy room.
Yeah.
It has a lot of stuffed animals in it, correct?
It does.
Okay. Are you looking at her face?
When we walk into the house?
No, when she's lying on the ground.
Oh, yes.
What are you seeing?
Bruising, but I was more focused on trying to get her to talk to me.
Okay. And do you lift up her hair?
No.
When was the first time you saw the bruising on the ear?
When I was in my second interview, I believe.
The photograph of the eye that the detective showed you, was that the same bruising you had seen earlier
No.
from what you called as the hickey thing?
No, there was more.
What had you not seen?
The top part,
I'm going to show you what states Exhibit 46. Do you recognize that photograph?
I do.
And is it closer to you today than it was in the interview room?
Yes, I think so. I'm not quite sure.
Did they hand you each of those photographs
Laid them on the table in front of me.
in an array?
Yes.
I'm going to Put 46 up, I apologize. That would be Hannah's left eye, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you circle circle what you saw as the bruising? Not in the photograph, but as you've personally observed it.
Okay. Just this under the eye, right there.
Okay. Did you see any of the top eye, which would be the eyelid?
No, I didn't.
Okay. What about in the corner of her eye?
No, I didn't.
What about this marking over here where my finger is?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember what you were doing the evening of the 7th of March?
I was at home.
Did you leave at all that night?
I did not.
Did TJ come home?
Yes?
Okay. And all of your cell phone is in the record.
It is.
And if the ladies and gentlemen of the jury open up either the disc or the 8 boxes there, what are they going to find out about you and TJ?
Oh, that we fight. We're a normal couple with
Okay.
kids.
And how do you fight?
We fight through text message so that we don't do it in front of our children.
Okay. And are there topics of conversations that are a repeating theme for you and TJ?
Yes.
What are they?
Drinking?
You're drinking?
No.
Who's drinking?
TJ's?
Anything else?
Not really.
The evening of the 7th, were you guys bickering by text?
Yes.
Where were you both at?
He was in the garage with some work guys, and I was in the living room with the girls.
And was that problematic for you?
I didn't like it. I wanted him to come in and be with us. I know he has to work, and I know he has to make sure the guys are okay for the next day. But I think any woman wants to feel important.
Were the work guys inclusive of Jason Weshy that day?
No. There's 2 other ones.
Any other common themes that you and TJ would bicker about?
Kids.
Okay. Are you what type of couple are you? You fight all the time, or you fight and make up? What do you do?
I mean, I think we're like any normal couple that has little children, and one works all the time, and one is with the kids. We do have a lot in common. We camp. I hunted a lot more before I had kids, but I like when he does that. It's his hobby. That makes me happy when he gets to do that. I mean, we get along and we don't get along. I mean, there's days where we love each other, and there's days where we don't really like each other, but that's, I mean, in any relationship, whether it's a roommate or...
On March 7th, did you go to bed mad?
I'm not sure.
Do you have a memory of being mad when you went to bed on the 7th?
Not necessarily. He's usually pretty apologetic and tries to smooth it over with me.
Smooth it over with you how?
Like telling me he loves me and we're a team, and
Tells you he needs you?
tells me he needs me.
Is that a common theme between the two of you?
Yeah.
Were you mad at him on the 8th, the morning of the 8th?
No. I get over things pretty fast.
Okay. Did you wake up mad on the 8th?
No.
Did you get mad on the 8th?
No.
You didn't take your anger and frustration out on Hannah?
No. Wasn't any.
On March 9th, you said that, I think, Lambert and Hensley came to your house, correct?
Yes.
Do you see Detective Turner in the courtroom today?
I do.
And when was the first time you saw him?
At the beginning of the March 9th interview.
Okay, so when he walks in the door?
Yes.
And that's when the first time you've ever met this man?
Yes.
Okay. And prior to the morning of March 9th, had you met Detective Hensley?
I don't think so, no.
And why would you tell these two gentlemen the things you told them?
I felt like I'd know their option. I had been telling them the same thing I told everybody the day before for an hour, and they just kept telling me something happened, something happened. So I just gave them the answers they wanted to hear. I wanted to protect everybody. I didn't want anybody to be in trouble. And I didn't think she was going to pass away.
You heard Detective, excuse me, Lambert come in here, and specifically I want to focus on that statement she testified to and that Detective Turner found had been created recently. Do you remember that?
I do.
Do you remember getting that in discovery?
I do.
And tell me what you felt when you read what she wrote.
I was livid
Why were you livid?
because it's not true.
Had you said the things that she wrote in that statement?
No.
Do you remember what I asked you to do
What you asked me to do?
when that statement came in discovery?
You told me
Objection,
to...
Your Honor.
Approach. All right, very good. Ms. Howard, you may continue.
Try to remember the exact question. Do you remember what I asked of you?
Told me to come into the office right away.
The ketchup. Remember the story you told the detective?
Yes.
Was the ketchup story real?
No.
Why did you say that?
Because Hannah and Vivian always helped me cook. The day before we had mini corn dogs, and they were squirting the ketchup on the plate, and it was something that they had touched, that we had done.
Did you hit Hannah after the ketchup?
No.
Did you take her into the bathroom where she was squirting the ketchup and hit her?
No.
Why did you say you did?
Because I've had a friend, my friend Andrea, tell me that she's slapped her kid before and it's never been an issue. I just thought that would never be an issue. It's discipline. It wouldn't be anything that would get anyone in trouble.
Hepatitis C.
Yeah?
Did you know anything about hepatitis C for Hannah?
I did not.
And the last topic I want to cover is uppercut. Did you say that word?
I did not.
Are you a martial arts person?
No.
I think you said you've done dance. Have you ever taken martial arts classes?
No, ma'am.
How much do you weigh?
110 pounds?
That's about the same size you were back in March of 2018?
Yes.
You've not grown, you've not shrunk?
No.
No further questions, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:07. We're going to use this opportunity to give you an hour lunch break. Please leave your notepads, but keep your lanyards on. Remember your admonitions, so no discussing this case amongst yourselves or with anybody else. If anybody else attempts to discuss the case with you, you need to report it to me. No researching and so forth. So we'll see you back about 1:05 outside. We'll start assembling everybody. We'll get started with the cross-examination by the state. Ms. Partin, you are still under oath. You are still admonished. You are not to discuss testimony with any party, person, potential witness, etc. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, I know we discussed possibly discussing jury instructions. I don't necessarily think we'll have to worry about that at lunchtime. We probably have some time this afternoon to do that, okay? Thanks, Joe. All right. Off the record.
No, okay, thank you though.